Welcome to Sipping Reality with Jill and
Megan. I got two Megans.
You got two Megans.
I'll sing Jill.
Okay.
Jill. Your face. You're watching this.
Oh, welcome to our episode about the seasons.
Yeah, we were thinking about this yesterday. Well, we thought about it and then we recorded about it.
We recorded an entire episode and somehow the audio got messed up on my computer. And so we couldn't use that podcast. So we're doing it all over again.
And it's going to be even better.
Even better. We are here for you.
So, our thoughts on how seasons change us throughout the year.
The seasons change, and with it, we change. It shifts our energy and how we feel.
Yeah, and the people around us, and the plants, and the trees, and
it's
the food we
interesting
eat.
How we talk about how we have seasons of our life.
Yeah.
And they don't match up with the seasons of the trees and things, but still.
Well, in a sense they do, because there's death, and there's rebirth, there's growth.
I mean, time-wise, they don't match up.
Right,
We're not, like, going through death and rebirth every single year of our life. We get some breaks.
No, yeah, we do.
Here and there.
Yeah.
Some more than others.
Yeah. And I think in particular this sparked us yesterday just because it was such a beautiful, warm, sunny day.
Oh, it was beautiful out yesterday.
It's been cold and raining for the last month. I mean, just coming out of winter, and we had like one warm day I think back in like March, a couple warm days, and then it was freezing and
cold and rainy.
Got a crazy snow squall a couple weeks ago. It literally covered my whole yard and my car.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah.
In April.
And that comes to a thought, not letting the seasons affect us emotionally. Oh, it's snowing, I'm so mad. Oh, it's raining, I'm so mad. It's windy, I'm so mad.
Well, the victim mentality that we've talked about, and this is a very important topic.
Yeah.
Like near and dear to my heart, and one that is a mentality that's so rampant in our world today. And it's so detrimental to those that are in it. And so it's very important for me to talk about openly. And it's interesting how the seasons really...
Well, because changing us, coming out of that, the victim mentality has changed our whole entire
outlook
life.
On everything.
Yeah.
And our outlook on the seasons. We both found our joy in the winter this year instead of just complaining about it.
Yeah. And did I get to a point where I felt isolated and it was really wearing on me, and I'm like, I need some social interaction. I need to go wear not a lot of clothing and like slip on my...
wear not a lot of clothing, she says. Are you
slip on my sandals? No, maybe not.
Maybe that's for the X-rated
No,
one.
I mean, I just want to throw on a dress and my sandals. I don't want to put on all these friggin' clothes and socks and jackets and...
Love sundresses so much.
And like, there's way more activities to do. Everybody's out, everybody's talking, like there's just so much more interaction, and it does wear on me at the end. And I try not to be miserable about it, but it certainly I can feel that like...
But there is a beauty to the winter, and it's a sense
Totally.
of we're not animals that hibernate. Well, we're not animals, we're humans, but we're not animals.
We are sometimes.
I mean, we are kind of animals. We have animal instincts.
We
and
do.
all of that. That could be a whole other show and debate for another day.
Yes.
Side note. Okay. But we do hibernate in a sense, and the winter allows that. And I even notice that in the fall and in the summer, or the beginning of the fall and the summer, I don't eat as much. I don't need to eat as much yet. I'm more active. I have more energy.
Yep.
And then in the winter and the spring, I actually eat a lot. It's kind of disturbing that actually as we're gearing up for summer, in March and April seem to be my hungriest time of the year, because I'm going to be, and it fits with farming and working and doing all of that, because you're not eating as much. Right. You're working more, you're busier, you're exerting more energy. You need fat to burn off through the summer months.
Do you know what's interesting?
You don't want to eat as much.
About the human body is that it's almost like an instinctual thing. Like it's like in our DNA of like these like seasonal performances that we need to do. Like when you're hunkering down, when you're about to become very active, like when the seasons change, your body is almost like it's gearing up for one or the other.
Well, yes, it's why I get hungrier this time of year. And as a woman who's about to be wearing less clothes and going to beaches, I don't want to get a little fat on me in April. That's when I want to slim down. But my natural body tells me to beef up because I'm going to be doing more work and be more active. And because I'm more active, I'm not going to be eating as much. Yeah. It's hot and humid and you don't feel like eating a lot in the heat and the humidity. It's eating a fruits and vegetable season that don't have as much fat, whereas in the winter,
there's a lot of water content in them too.
Yes, where in the winter you eat a lot of meats and the root vegetables and the squashes, right? You eat things that are more hearty, more fat, and they keep you warm, and they do certain things for your body and your metabolism that your body needs in the winter to slow down, hunker down, to be in the cold.
Yep.
And then I need to fatten up a little bit so that my body has something to burn throughout the summer when I'm active and busy and not eating as much. And it makes perfect sense that my body does that.
You know, speaking of food, it's interesting because before I got my first farm share, I don't know how many years ago now, I actually didn't even realize what was seasonal, what foods were seasonal.
A lot of people don't.
I had no idea.
Yep.
And that sounds stupid saying it out loud, but bless you.
Thank you.
Wow.
I've worked really hard at not making any sound at all.
That was quiet.
And then...
It was very muffled.
I really worked hard at that.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And then you
and then I told everybody.
Anyways,
it's
that
fine.
I sneezed. It's fine.
Well, at least
you didn't have to hear it.
Yeah, at least I didn't get the sound in the mic. So yeah, and like the watermelon, the melons, the broccoli, the lettuce,
the things you're eating,
and lettuce is filled with water
to keep you hydrated.
It's super interesting.
Yes,
what grows in what season.
It makes perfect sense. And how root vegetables and squashes, if stored properly, can last months. They can last you through the winter.
And apples grow.
Apples can last too.
Yeah.
An abundance of what grows in the fall. There is an abundance of what grows in the fall, and it's all vegetables and fruits that
like
can
peaches
last months.
That grow in the summer, like
so you don't need
peaches
anything to be
and pears,
growing.
like all that
they
stuff.
Won't last.
And then,
you have to eat them right away, but they're filled with.
But they grow
hydration.
during the summer. They don't grow at the fall with the apples.
Because you don't need as much hydration.
Exactly.
Yes,
it's just
all perfect.
It's really amazing. And I think about like even looking at the trees, how they've stored the energy in the fall to now release it in the spring. And they hunker down too. There is this energy of like growth in the springtime. It's almost like a magical feeling, like this
energetic.
Yeah,
there is an energy that is needed for things to grow.
Yeah.
For a seed that's been sitting there all year long in the ground, that's sitting dormant, to all of a sudden crack open with green life that can push through the earth that's been frozen
in the dark.
Yes, and know to grow upwards towards the light and turn into a plant and a flower.
Yeah.
That takes energy. Where does that energy come from? There's an energy all around us that's entering these seeds and entering these trees and plants around us in order for that process to happen. And we feel it.
Yeah, and not only do I feel it, but I feel inspired by the visual of it too. Like it inspires me inside.
Do you? I feel inspired by the sun and going to the beach.
Well, yes, the warm weather, like it is. It does.
Like so much more sun.
It's enticing. It's like this very like.
Let's get in our car and just drive. You could
get out, go anywhere, do anything. Yes. Like,
it brings a mindset of I'm powerful and I can do whatever I want today. Like the world is my oyster.
Yes. Yeah, and but seeing all the vibrant colors, the flowers, it is just. I don't know, it brings you into it's just a really beautiful like feeling inside. So it's really cool. I really feel that. I felt that yesterday. Like I think that's why are you looking at my legs?
No. Your legs?
My like
Your what?
my likes on the
Oh, I thought you said legs.
all of a sudden was very
Self-conscious of me
Self-conscious.
watching the
Yes.
voice meter?
yes. I
Oh,
was.
the audacity, actually. It wasn't voice meter.
Yeah.
No, I was just watching it.
But man, I have been craving to get in my dress, in my sandals, not put socks on, not put a sweater on, and just get in my car and go. I want to buy a sleep mat for the back of my car, so I'll just go wherever I want to go and sleep in my freaking car and not even care. And that's how I feel. That's how this weather is making me feel.
Yeah.
And the winter, you know, I do like the winter. I love the feeling of like warm drinks, and I do love sweaters. I don't, they say sweater weather. Sweater
I
weather.
love being lazy and not feeling guilty about it because it's
You don't have to go. You
10
can't go
degrees
anywhere.
outside.
Or it's
and
snowing and you literally can't
It
drive.
forces you to have a season of rest in
Yeah.
some ways, but we see it as this depressing, isolating thing. But it ends, and I think if we can change our perception on it, we can actually embrace it
Yeah.
in a way that it's just as fulfilling as the summer.
Yeah.
It's a time to rest. It's a time to sit with loved ones. It's a time to just
cuddle and
get, and that's
sit
why
in front of a fire.
it can be isolating
Yeah.
because when you don't have anyone to do that with all winter long,
Yeah.
that does get wearing because it is a time to
Or
just
if you're
hunker down
stuck in
and
the
be
house with
family
5
and-
children and they're going crazy.
Well, as a single parent, and
Yeah.
it's really there's a lot of challenges to it, but there's a lot of challenges to every season too, and we can take what we want from
And
it,
there's fun stuff to do. I mean, I took myself snowboarding
which is amazing.
and that was fun. That was
so much fun.
Yeah, it was great. And that's a winter sport. That's not something that I can do now. And I try not to look at things negatively too, because I do, like we said, there's so many people I know that are like, oh my God, it's raining. Oh my God, it's snowing. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh my God, it's cold.
No, the same people growing up, mostly like my grandparents. I remember my grandmother, every single conversation I ever had with her in my entire life, she mentioned the weather. And it was always too hot or it was too cold. It was never a good enough. It was always like, oh my gosh, it's cold. Oh my gosh, it's hot.
Yeah.
It was like,
I've literally always
I
said
can't-
this.
I can't do this again.
I know. I don't want to hear it.
No.
I've always said this. Living in New England especially, if I was only happy when it was sunny and like 72 degrees, I would only be happy like 95% of the year. Because there are not many days where it's sunny and just like 72.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect weather.
And I love the rain. I love the rain too. I love the sound of it. It's soothing.
It's another reason to have a day of rest.
Yeah.
Let's just slow down.
Like I was
today.
going to go hard today like I did yesterday,
Yeah.
and now it's raining and
gonna slow down.
okay, I'm just going to relax today. And even the sound of it is just soothing and relaxing. And thunderstorms. I love
We talked
thunderstorms.
about that in our ASMR video.
Yeah.
All about the rain and the
Yeah.
sound of the rain. And
It
thunder and
is.
lightning.
And I mean, I've put on soundtracks just to listen to that, to like.
Well, people do. They buy soundtracks of rain to meditate to.
I actually used to
relax
sit.
to.
It reminded me, I actually forgot about this. My aunt, we used to shut all the lights off and put thunderstorm and rainstorm CD on and just like sit in the dark and like listen to it for a little while.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was really relaxing, and I loved that. I never forgot about
Some people
that.
are really scared by the thunder.
I mean, some people,
especially kids and animals, so it can be tough for people that have like dogs that freak out.
Right.
And again, there's challenges to everything, but it's
and not that I'm not scared of some storms. Like some storms make me
Oh.
really nervous.
yeah, yep.
But most are not severe. Yeah, and rain brings so much life to the earth.
Well, that's the thing this year that I really saw my mentality shift, where in the beginning of April, in the March, beginning of April, when it was raining and cold for weeks, and everywhere I went, people were complaining about it being rainy and cold, and I was too. I
did.
I have a really hard time being cold, and the chill of the rain, it just gets to my bones, and it's hard for me to function. It's really hard for me to have any motivation because I'm in a lot of pain. So there's that. But I was like, my perception of it all this year was so different, where I was like, yes, let it rain, let it be cold right now, because this is what's going to bring a beautiful warm May. Because we've had years where April wasn't very rainy. We didn't get the April showers bring May flowers, right? There's a reason why that's a saying.
Right.
We need rain at this time of year. Just like I don't like that I get hungrier this time of year and put a little chunk on.
I'm super hungry.
I'm very hungry this time of year. I notice it every year. And I don't like that. But it has a purpose and it has a function, and it's nature, and it's nature happening and working as it should. Just like the cold rain in April has the function of bringing a beautiful, warm May with all that new birth and growth that you were talking about that inspires you. And the years that we haven't had that, May is kind of like, Right. There's not as many flowers. They're not as colorful. There's not as much brightness. We need that cold, rainy April to have our beautiful, energizing, bam, start to the warmth and to get us going and feel that energy.
Seeds popping out.
Get the seeds popping, like all of it. And so I can either see it as, oh, we have to suffer through a month of cold rain, or I could see it as, yes, I'm so glad that nature's doing what it should this year with the rain and the cold, so that May's gonna
beautiful.
Bam. And look what's happened. We've had some beautiful warm days this week. It's been amazing.
We have. You know, I think it's interesting when you're like foraging for something, like a root, you will always do it in fall, because that's when it stores all the energy and its nutrients in the roots of the plant. That inspires me too. It has me think about, okay, well, now's the time. This plant knows that this is the time to do it, so now I'm gonna forage. I'm gonna set up my medicine for the winter and
pick all your wild carrot.
Right, the elderberry, like all the good stuff that we're gonna need throughout the winter.
Yeah. Jam full packed of nutrients.
Yeah, and I learn a lot from looking at nature, and that happened because I took that Plants of New England class. I don't know if I've mentioned this on one of the podcasts.
I don't think you have.
But I took a Plants of New England class, and it was interesting because I knew that trees flowered. A part of me knew that. I mean, I'm not dumb. I can see. I am
you
blessed.
just hadn't considered it.
I'm blessed with vision. I can see. But when I took that class, we learned about all the native plants, all the native shrubs. I didn't realize until after that, and we learned about how they flower, and that a flower turns into a fruit, and that every tree fruits. I just didn't realize this stuff. And that spring was like the most colorful, beautiful spring I had ever seen before. It was a whole paradigm shift for me. And when I looked around that year, I was like, wow, all these trees are flowering. Like, all trees flower? Had I not seen this before? It was very strange. And it's not like all of a sudden the trees started flowering for the first time because I realized this. They've always done that. And, flowers, like beautiful flowers on some of these trees. They're just filled. Just a whole tree of flowers. Even though they were there, it's like I didn't see them.
Interesting.
So every year it's been more colorful for me, just realizing how many things actually flower in the springtime.
Well, so many things are right in front of our face and we miss them sometimes. And I think there's so many lessons. I mean, we could jump off to 100 different topics just from the things that we've touched on today. And that's one of them. We could go deeply into the things that we miss that are right in front of us.
Yeah, they're right there.
You
don't see them.
But we're stressed or distracted or not connected to the natural order of things or whatever reason.
It reminds me of a writing I did that I've lost. I did a whole little photography book, and the writing was about walking through life and not seeing. And because and it was a vision of someone walking down the street, and they're so focused on the things in their head and in their life that they didn't notice the beautiful flower. They didn't notice.
You should redo that writing.
They didn't notice the shape.
Inspired by this podcast.
I should.
You have a lot of writings to do, by the way.
I have a lot of writings that are like half done
Yeah.
and not finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really dissociated lately.
Yeah, it's been a time.
Yeah, it has.
But there's a shift in season, and we are ready to do life.
Well, the thing about this season too that inspires me is writing. I've done such great writings, being by a river and being in the woods and overlooking a big field. That is very inspiring for me to write. So it's even more exciting now.
It's a good season.
Warm weather and just go somewhere and write, you know?
So in conclusion, we change with the seasons.
We do.
And our perception can change of it all.
And we try not to allow the weather to affect us negatively. I think it's important to realize the value of each type of weather.
Yes, there's a purpose for each season. There's a purpose for the rain and the storms, and it all brings something, just like our lives.
Yeah.
We have stormy seasons, and it brings change, and we learn from it. Well, we don't always. It's perception.
Yeah.
Some people can live a lifetime and not gain from that's the victim mentality.
We should
instead of growing from some of these seasons in our life, we become a victim of them. Yeah. And instead of becoming a victim of the hardest season or the hard seasons, we can instead choose to grow and be lifted up and empowered by walking through them in a new light. And
well, I've been really grateful.
Never have to be a victim again.
I've been really grateful to be able to do that with weather because it's pretty important and it's pretty prevalent. So
let's appreciate the seasons and change with them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more warm weather though too, so we can get out there and just
go to the beach.
Oh my god,
I just really want to go to the beach. I had to say
we need to go to the beach. Oh, we're taking a trip soon.
But we're not going to the beach.
No, but we're taking a road trip. Maybe.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Love you guys.